All right. So just a show of hands as I'm kind of figuring out how I'm going to do today. How many of you have either blank flip books or like note cards or individual sheets of paper that you can make a flip book out of? All right. I see Lorenzo's got some. Armin's got some.
We
Like,
use like,
what's that?
is it okay if we use an app like Flip-a-Clip?
Yes. Yes. You can use it's digital or traditional. So if you have a digital app, it's totally cool. I think I put that in there too. If you have digital, use that. So I'm going to be using this dude here. I think Lorenzo and I have the same one. And then I'm gonna show it on the kind of the steps on the paper here, so that we can kind of get an idea of how many steps are in the bouncing ball, and then we'll kind of look at that, animating those things, and then actually animate it ourselves, which is cool. To like, I remember the first time I animated a bouncing ball, and I could actually watch something that I did move. Was awesome, right? And so we're gonna go over a couple of principles in. I'm glitching. All right. Hey, Scott, am I like popping in and out?
No, it looks fine to me.
Okay. All right.
There's a question about how many pages for the flip book do we need?
You're going to use about anywhere between like 15 to 20. So you might start, and then we'll do a bouncing ball, and then you can add on to that in like a walk cycle and stuff like that, right, for this one. So, and then we're going to start off. Oh, first of all, hey, Jack, I see you, buddy. Does your last name begin with K? It does. All right, good. So, Mom, I have an email coming to you because Jack won on Friday. So I'm going to send you a confirmation email just to make sure I have the address correct. And then Jack has this coming. I'm going to ship it out this week. So I had two Jacks in there, and I wanted to make sure it was Jack K, right? That won the thing. So last name begins with K, right? Sweet.
Yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. So let's get into the cartoon of the day, which is Zoom and Board, which I love, right? It's another Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner. It's that slapstick style humor. And we're going to start with that. And what's good about this film and why it's especially prevalent in what we're doing today is because we're going to go very briefly over the 12 principles of animation, right? But we're going to concentrate today on squash and stretch, right? And easing in and easing out, or slow in, slow out. And I'm going to give you a couple resources to do that, and then we're going to talk about it. And the bouncing ball achieves two of those principles, which is squash and stretch, and then in the easing. So, Scott, if you don't mind, sir, I think we have enough people in the room. Let's go ahead and roll Zoom and Board, please. Yes. I love that one, especially the arrow that just keeps going. You kind of even don't really feel bad for the guy because he just doesn't use the stuff right. So, here is what we're going to do today. We're going to do a little breakdown here on what the 12 principles of animation are, right? Just kind of a rundown. But we're really going to concentrate on two, which are the squash and stretch and easing, right? So slow in, slow out. At least normal pencils are fine. And then I think somebody put in there too, note cards, or if you have the app. So there's two books. I grant it that most of you are really into animating, right? The whole idea of animation, cartoon making, and stuff like that. Yes, you can use paper. So there's two resources. I've already mentioned these before, and I put them on my resource site. They're in my Amazon site. But if you are down with animation, right? Richard Williams, The Animator's Survival Kit, which is what I'm going to be referencing today, one of the two books. So this is one of them, right? And we're going to reference Tater Tot. It depends on if you're doing TV or if you're doing film. TV is about 12 frames. Film's roughly 24 plus frames per second. So obviously the more frames, the smoother the animation, right? The shorter frames, the better it is for your budget. So here we go. And The Illusion of Life. I'm going to tell you right now, I checked this book out when I was in high school, right? I bought it a couple of times, and I've given some away to students I've mentored. So this book right here is fantastic. We are also going to be referencing from this. It's Ollie Johnston and Frank Thomas, who were legendary animators, part of the Nine Old Men with Disney. And these guys have put together a phenomenal book. So I'm going to be referencing both. And what I'm going to start with today in the 12 principles of animation is in here. So we're going to go over this real quick. There we go. All right. So I'm going to zoom in, right? So you guys can see this is from The Illusion of Life, right? I love this book. It's huge, by the way. It's, how many pages is a sucker? 570 some pages. That's a lot, right? But there's a lot of really good stuff in here. So the two principles that we're going to be concentrating on today are number 1 and number 6, right? But if you look at this, this is what animators, when they were figuring stuff out, right, back in the very early days of this, figuring out how to make something more believable, how to bring entertainment to it, like what does it actually do? Does it translate well, or is it just like a stale thing that's on screen? And so when we get down to this, hold on one second, we get into the 12 principles, squash and stretch being the first, right? So squash and stretch is all about how an object doesn't just stay here. Go back to me for 1 second, Scott. How an object, especially in a bouncing ball, what you're going to see, if it's just of course, I don't know where my kids took off with the ball I was going to use. So we are going to say, whatever. We're going to say like, this is a ball. It's tape, but today it's a ball, right? And that's really good because this is rigid. If something just does this, right, and that's it, there's no squash, there's no stretch. The timing is all the same. So even when there's no like easing in and easing out. It's just one constant thing, and this is all it does, right? Not super imaginative. It's just one thing. However, when we add easing, right, easing in and easing out, so it goes up and then hangs and then down and then hangs and then right. All of a sudden, we've got a little bit different in our timing. It's a little bit more interesting. It's a little bit more like real life. And then when we get to the squash and stretch, the ball is not the same, right? The ball squashes as it hits the ground and then elongates as it goes up. And then as it hits the top, gets back to that perfect circle, right? And then drops. So let's get into, Scott, can you roll this one for me real quick, please? We've got anticipation, right? Kind of that idea of, think of like when a pitcher is about to throw a baseball, he kind of winds back, pauses a minute, and then goes. So you build that anticipation. We go into staging, right? How the animation looks, what's important to the screen, straight ahead action and pose to pose, follow through, and sorry about that. All right, we're back.
Your camera just cut. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I know. That's because I got it. I went to go hit the do not disturb, and then it just didn't disturb. So we've got in here follow through and overlapping action, slow in and slow out. This is what we're going to do today. Arcs, secondary action, timing, right? That Chuck Jones was legendary for his timing. And that's what made what he did so fantastic. So if something stayed on the screen a little too long or a little too short, right, it wouldn't have the same effect. And he knew timing like nobody else. And then exaggeration, which we've done here, right, when we're kind of caricaturing things. Even if you look here at Mickey Mouse, is my camera frozen on the laptop?
Yes, your camera's frozen. I was trying to spotlight you, but it's not doing anything.
All right. So tell you what, I'm gonna leave this one, and then I'm gonna keep you on here, and I'm gonna try to pop back on. So let me know if join video. Do not join. All right, how's that? Better?
There you are. Yes.
All right, cool. So we've got, go ahead and you can go back to overhead view. So in exaggeration, right, it's all about what we've done and here, if you see Mickey down here, right, these are exaggerated features. So he's pulling on him, right? And when you're animating that, you actually see the film go through. It gives that elongated sense, but it looks weird here, but it doesn't look weird when you actually see it on film. Solid drawing and then appeal. So the whole idea of building something that's interesting and that people want to watch. So the 12 principles of animation, those are the 12. And then we get into what we're going to do today, which is this, except for we're not going to necessarily have our ball bounce and arc. We're going to do a bounce as if it's going straight up and down. So this book, by the way, is filled with, if you love Disney, and I love Disney animation, right? It's filled with concept sketches, all kinds of good reading on how to animate something, you know, what brings it to life, and then examples from what these guys did, especially in the very early days. So the early Minnie Mouse. So anyway, there's that book. Highly recommend The Illusion of Life, Disney Animation, Frank Thomas, Dolly Johnston. Again, it's on my list. Okay. So let's get into our first. So you guys have paper. If what I want to do first before we get into the flipbook side of things is let's just map out kind of what we're going to pull off in this bouncing ball, right? We're going to start with, pull this down here. We're going to start with our ball in the top position, right? And it's pretty much a perfect circle. All right, sweetie. I know, I'll change it in a minute. All right, so our ball is going to stop here, which means this is going to be our beginning and our end point. So in our animating the bouncing ball, which we'll do in our either flipbooks or if you have the app, right, is we'll actually have the ball drop and then come back up and sit here. And if you're using the digital one, you can just loop it and it'll look like the ball is just bouncing the entire time, right? So we have our top position here, and then down here, my flattened out ball. So usually what you'll see in a key, right, is like this would be my first position, and this will be my 8th position. And you'll see it where we start to drop this, right? And this will kind of give us an idea on how like fast the movement's going to go. So my second frame, the ball is not elongating itself yet, and it just sits below, like, I mean, it really does tuck, because remember, we're easing out on this, right? So we're slowing out. So my ball doesn't move very much, right? Because it's just starting its descent. And then so this would be like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So my third frame, it drops a little bit more. So there's a shorter distance here. There's a little bit of a longer distance here. Still kind of hanging.
Ben,
right?
there are a couple questions.
Yes.
Let's see. Are we doing this in the flip book, and how many frames should I do? Or is this on the paper?
We're going to do this on paper first to map it out, and then we're going to get into our flip book. So let's start on paper. And then Laura, figuring frames, we're either going to do somewhere between like 14 and 17 frames. All right. So this is my third position here. So you can see it moved a little bit more. And now my fourth position is going to move down a little bit more, and I'm going to start to very gently elongate it. At least if you don't have the app, that's okay. You can use like note cards or even Post-it notes. If you've got a pack of Post-it notes, you can animate that. It acts kind of the same way as a flip book. All right, and then my step 5, my ball is dropping further. My step 6, as you can see, the distance is rapidly. And then my step 7 is I make that first contact, right? And then I squash. So if you can see how it goes down, I start up, it gets a little faster, drops quicker, and then smash. And then I go back up. Now, when I go back up, my framing is a little bit different. So I'm going to show you what that looks like on this side. And I'm going to use this as my line. So that's over here. So if I'm what's that? All right. So if I'm starting, this is my 8th position, right? I'm going to have, you got all that energy that's been built up from it squashing down, and now it's going to explode back out, right? So it kind of has it's a little squishy still. So it's building up that energy. And then you see on my 6th position here down, this is actually when it goes back up, it's going to be a little bit higher than that, right? Because it's launching. And then the same way when I get up to here. So you can see kind of the difference of it's shooting back up. And then once I start to come up to this point, right, it's now going to slow in. So it falls slowly, rockets out, shoots back up, right, and then just starts to hang, and it's going to hang in the same exact position as this does. So you can kind of see in, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 14 frames. And we could probably add one more here for 15 if we wanted to kind of slow it down even more. The whole idea of I'm slowing in, right? Or I'm slowing out here. I'm rocketing down. I'm slowing in. And then up I go. And then I'm slowing in. I'm easing out, and then I'm easing in as I come up to here. So as I get to that top position, my ball bounces, it's going to hang, right? And then bounce, and then hang and bounce. So hopefully, does that make sense? And then you see my key here too. My key here tells me, like on this side, where my positions are, right? So that's my breakdown. All right, is anyone pulling their hair out right now and be like, oh my gosh, dude, what? Not too bad, right? So we're able to do a bouncing ball. Now, here's what's cool. It's cool to see this on a page, right? It's even cooler to see this animated. All right, so we've got this thing down here. Now we're going to animate it. So what I want you to do is, whether you're in your digital app or you have a physical, yeah, like Liliana and Heather Rose, you guys got, that works great. Lorenzo, great. You got your stuff. So I'm going to start in on my pages, right? And here's what I recommend that you do. So I recommend that like you put like a little 1. I like to like write little numbers down in the corner of my pages. There we go. Okay. That just lets me know what frame I'm on. Does that make sense? All right. So here we go. Go ahead.
Could you repeat that, please? You
Yeah.
cut out.
All right, no problem. So what I'll do when I'm doing my frames, right, and I'm animating, can you see like in the bottom corner here, I'm just going to put a 1. And every time I add a page and I do a page, I'll just number that page so that I know what it is in my sequence. Okay. So let me
Caden
sharpen
has
my
a hand up too.
Who does?
Caden?
Hey, buddy.
I have to go to another meeting now at the general class meeting at 12:30.
Okay. We'll tell you what, you've got this bouncing ball animation, right? You've got some of the resources. We're going to animate some more flip books on our own scene. We're going to do our own scene next week. So good to see you, Caden. Look forward to the next time, sir.
Okay.
All right. So you guys see how this works, right? In here. Now we're going to apply this to here. So what I want you to do is go ahead and I'll usually have like a ground line in mind, so I know where the ball's going to hit. And I'm just putting my ball up at the top. Super simple. Now, if I was doing this on my animation paper here, I would just lay another piece of paper down over the top, because then I could see back and forth, right? And I can understand where I'm flipping. Flipbook's a little bit different because I'm adding behind my pages. So what I do is I just do a little tick mark at the top. Animate. So Elise, so this is to to Elisa's question, this is 12F, 12 field animation paper. So it's like 12 inches, right? And if I were to animate this with my peg strip, what I would do is I would have, here, I'll just show you. So let's say I have the ground here and I would have my ball right here, right? What I would do is I would take, I'm gonna give you a couple of sheets to show. I would take my paper right here. So this is one. And then I would lay down, you can, I gave you guys, this is a resource too on my Blick art materials one. I have animation paper in there and I have a peg strip and it's fairly inexpensive. So you can see, I can see underneath, right? Because it's kind of translucent a little bit. So I know where my line is. Now I know where my ball is here because I can see my line, but I'm not going to draw right over that. I'm going to do my next frame. So I'm going to do this, right? So that way, when I'm looking at this, you can kind of see it starts to drop a little bit. Now I'm going to do something a little bit more dramatic so that you can really get an idea of how this works flipbook style. So I can see my position here. And I'm going to just make that ball drop a little faster. Yes, Evie, you can use the flipbook one now, right? And all of a sudden, I'm flipping back and forth and I can see the animation working. And then if I was really good at it, right, you just flip back and forth. So that's that. Let's get back to flipbooks. So I've got my ball, and then I'm going to do my next page. You guys can do the same thing in your position. Remember, we've got 4 positions at the top, right? So these 4 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th position's in the middle. And then I'll kind of move it back and forth to see if where I'm hanging. And then we'll move to frame 3. And again, I'll do kind of where I'm ticking off the top there. And if you have the Flipbook app, you can do this on the app. All right. So we have our guide. Yeah, there you go, Tater Tot. How do you write, at least what do you mean, like, how do you write it? How do you write animation paper?
Like, how do you write, like, the positions in the balls? Like, in the first page, and then, like, you write the second page, which, like, position, like, which spot, do you write the ball in the second page,
In my second page, I'm going to make the ball a little bit lower. So if you see on my page right here, this ball is 1, and this ball right here is 2, and then 3, and then 4, right? So these are a little closer together, and then they get a little farther apart, and then they get farther apart, and then they really get farther apart because the ball is dropping. Does that make sense? If you guys have a question, go ahead and pop it in the chat. And then, and we can unmute you also. So you can kind of see the ball drops a little bit, right? But I've only done the first 4 positions, so it's not really going to take effect till I hit that 5th one. Then you're really going to see the ball drop. Okay. And if you guys got a chance, so on Thursday's class is animating our own scene, right? And in there, I actually have students' work from a class that I taught at a community college here. So you can kind of get an idea of how we're going to do that. And it's
Evie's asking our whole story or just a scene?
just a scene. It's just going to be the first scene. If you have, so Evie, if you guys have a digital like flipbook animation app or something like that, you can do a lot more to your scene. We're just, given the time that we had, it's going to be like, we usually do like 1 second of film or 1.5 seconds, because we're operating at about 12 frames a second.
I'm going to jump over to Amin.
Amin, what's up, buddy?
Flipbook and my note cards didn't work so much. I had to draw it with my hands for flipbook clip, and this is my thing so far. I don't like it.
What? Dude, that looks great. So you got that whole squash, right? It squashes down. You got that energy as it builds back up, and then it hangs at the top for a minute. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Like if you have a flipbook app, you can loop it, and then you can watch your ball bounce. That's cool, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you should not be disappointed about that at all.
Here's Amelia.
Hey, dude.
Hey. So, like Amin, I did my animation on clip.
Okay.
Can I show it?
Absolutely. Yeah. See? Isn't it cool to see you animate something on your own? Like you just made a ball bounce and it looks like a ball bouncing. That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Well done. All right.
Here's Tater Tot.
Tater Tot.
Looks like Flip a Clip is a popular app because I'm also using it.
Are you? All right, let's see it. Yes. Oh, dude, there you go. So how does that feel?
Feels pretty good.
It should feel pretty good. Look at what you did.
Yeah, I've animated before though, so.
Oh, so you're like, I got this down.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never done this.
Awesome. Well, I think that's great, dude.
Thank you.
All right, who else?
Claire's raising her hand.
Yes, Claire.
She needs to unmute. There we go.
Hello? Can you guys hear
Hello.
me?
Now we
Okay.
can.
Is it okay if I share my screen?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So this one isn't ready yet, but I've done another one.
Nice.
I did two.
Awesome. Well done, man.
Thank you.
So how does it feel to animate and watch something that you just drew come to life? That's been my favorite thing. How's that feel for you? Did I lose Claire? She's like, I'm not answering that question.
She's muted again.
Wait, what? You were talking to me?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how does it feel to like watch something that you just drew come to life?
I feel great.
Right? It should feel great, man. That's what I love about animating, right? And doing this is it's cool when we do all, like the 1-frame cartoons and that kind of jazz. I love that stuff as well. But man, there's something to watching something you're drawing come to life right in front, even something as simple as a bouncing ball. All right. Does anybody else want to show where they're at? And even if you have like a traditional, like I'll show you mine here in a second. Like a traditional flip book.
Go ahead.
All right, Samantha. Nice. Look at that. Squash down, bounce up, hang at the top. You got all that energy that like from it just squishing down at the bottom and then just boom. And it hovers. Well done. I think you're so yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Flip the clip. Flip the clip seems like it's the app to use. Good suggestion, whoever started that one. All right, so let's see if I can you can sort of see it. It's a little bit different on this camera. So almost there. There we go. All right. So let's go I'm gonna go back to grid view. Des and Max, yes, please. Evie, no, Evie, you and I are also primitives. We're traditionalists on this one. All right, go ahead.
For mine, I animated the ball and then I drew a face and a body on it. So, here we go.
That's awesome. Well done, man.
And then I also, while I was waiting, I also animated this guy on the couch falling into the ground.
Sweet. That's cool.
And Des isn't done yet, so we'll wait
Des
for him.
isn't done yet. Okay.
All
right. Is anybody else? Evie, I'm looking forward to seeing what you did. Does anybody else want to show what they did in the bouncing ball? And if you guys use like Post-its or paper, and then so you can kind of see mine where it sticks, like it looks better, not necessarily on camera, because my camera is trying to catch up to focusing in on it. Lizzie, yes. Let's see what you have. All right, you're not done. Okay. All right. What about Heather, Liliana, and Heather Rose? Evie, yes, absolutely. You can show. And don't worry, you know what I did on mine, and it takes my phone a little, like the camera a little bit to catch up to it. So let's see what you got.
Okay. Let's see if this works. Oh, is it okay now? Yes. Oh, no, you can't.
Yeah, dude. Do it again. Mine did the same thing. It's okay. I can see you got all the steps in there. That looks cool. Mine did something very similar. Good job, Evie.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. What about Liliana and Heather Rose? You guys rolled some paper. Do you guys want to show?
Do I know how to? It's not really working. Heather, can you hold this down? So.
Yes! You did it! That looks good, man.
Heather is still making hers. But
okay. But it worked. Like, it worked. It looks cool.
Thank you.
Well done. You're welcome. I'm excited about that. All right. So as you guys are working in this, here's what I'm saying. If you've already done the bouncing ball and you've showed this, and if you're working in whatever, you could be working traditional or working in flip a clip. I'm gonna take a page from Max, and I like what he did with adding the face. So given what you learned in this, right, the squash, the stretch, the kind of easing in, easing out of movement, could you do a face, an expression? Could you animate an expression like a right, or something like that, where it's you know, and make it dramatic, not just all one set of like, right? It's not all the same in our timing, right? So we want anticipation. So maybe something happens and the eyes slowly go big and the head tilts or something like that. That's the challenge. We've got 15 minutes. We're going to do kind of like a walk cycle on some stuff, but I think this is more important first. We can get into that kind of thing later, and I'll show you some resources. But let's see if you can do something with a face and see how that turns out. Because I like what Max did with the bouncing ball and turning it into something where the dude was just smashing. So if I'm going to pick something, you do whatever shape you want, right? But I might do where I start and maybe my eyes are closed. And then my final position of animation will be, well, maybe this is eyes opening a little, and then my final position would be something where my eyes are wide open, right? So you guys seem to be pretty fast with that app stuff, and I'm going to try to be speedy also with. There we go. So that would be my 1, 2, 3, right? Except for he's going to slowly open. Maybe he'll blink a little bit, and then his eyes go poof, wide open. So can you do an expression on here? Let's see. With a face. Let's see how that turns out. And while I'm doing this, just to give you guys a heads up, this week, we have, starting in a couple weeks, if you have enjoyed the stuff we're doing here, there is a paid for class. Yes, Elise, you can share. We're doing it.
Would like to share too.
Absolutely.
Elise.
All right, Elise, you're up. Evie's doing the animating camp. That's awesome. That's what I was just going to say. All right, let's see, Elise. There you go. There you go. Yeah, bend it a little bit more. Sweet. Wait, do it one more time. That was perfect. Go back. Do it one more time. There you go. Elise. Nice job. Look what you just did. That looks awesome. Did you have fun animating that ball? Right? You just brought something to life by drawing it. That's amazing. I love that. All right. So
here's Kat.
Kat.
There we go. I'm back. I'm still working on it because my sister's been using Flip a little longer than I have. So she came in when I was trying to figure out how to keep my line straight the whole time. She came in and said, there's a ruler tool. And I'm all, oh no. So I'm kind of halfway of redoing the ruler tool, but I'll share what I have anyway.
Perfect.
Yes. Okay, my face is frozen in a weird position. Okay, can you see it?
Yep, we can see your screen.
I was practicing earlier. So this is what I have so far.
There you go. Look at that. So how did you like using the app?
I did like it. I have a few things I'm going to try maybe next time I do, like by putting a dot that I'm going to erase in my starting position so my ball doesn't kind of wiggle around.
Okay. All right. And for Elise, I think Elise, it's flip a clip. So FLIPACLIP.
Yes, I will. Hold on. I will show. There we go. Okay, how do I end it? Did the share end?
I think it did.
Okay.
All right, good job, Kat. Okay, so we have
See, I think Amin wants to share too.
all right, Amin.
Okay, well, I did the thing, and with the face, and hold on, and done, and now let me press the play button, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, dude, I love it. There you go, man. That looks awesome.
Okay.
That looks awesome. How did that feel?
It felt great.
It should feel good. Absolutely. Oh, I love it. All right. Do we have, so I'm going to just touch on this briefly, and Evie has already signed up for it. We have a like an animation cartooning camp. It's a cartooning camp coming up. There's 2 of them. I believe one is in July, or one's in June here, and then the other in not too long after that. I forget what the cost is. It's not that much. I want to say it's like $75. Obviously, ask folks, unless you are of age. But it is super awesome. I think if you guys have liked this stuff, I think you'll have a blast with that. And it's $75. And they have the whole breakdown on what the class is like. It's very cool. Evie, can I animate a walk cycle? Sure, of course. You can animate a walk cycle on 12. All right, so you guys have your faces. Let's see if I can get to mine. Oh, there we go. Eyes start to open a little bit, and then I'll pop in my final. Would anybody else like to share? Will there be a class with drawing with Lee or Rhiannon? I don't know. To be honest, I don't remember who's teaching that class. But we are still doing, we're going to go down to, I think, 4 classes a week starting next week. And each one of us, Lee, Rhiannon, myself, and Mike, are going to do one class. So can I show part of my storyboard to Lizzie? Yes. So Judy, I hope that answers it. Lee and Rhiannon will still be doing classes. They do some other paid classes. And I just don't remember who is doing the cartooning camp. So let's go Lizzie and then Nissy.
Share?
Yeah.
A few people would like to share. Let's go to Nissy first.
What's up, dude?
Okay, hello. So this is mine here. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep. Look at that. That's awesome. Look what you did. Very good.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice job, man. I am super impressed with all of you guys.
There's Liliana and Heather Rose.
All right, Liliana and Heather Rose. Going to Heather Rose first or Liliana? Which one?
Let me see. I'm trying to. It's really hard to flip a flip book on camera. No one can see it. Hang on, Rose. You hold it. You hold it down. Okay.
There you go. I saw it that time. Nice job, dude. I'm impressed, man. It's not easy to do. Like I'm not gonna say it's easy to do on Flip It Clip either, but it's definitely a little bit more difficult to do with paper because you guys are having to like layer up, and then you actually have to physically flip the stuff, and sometimes they stick. I caught it that second time you did it. Heather Rose, that looked awesome, man. Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here's Tater Tot.
Tater Tot. Yes. Look at that. And he even turns his head. That's awesome. Well done, dude. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Samantha.
I love the eyebrows. There you go. Very cool, man. Very cool. I dig it. Nice job, Samantha. All right, so flip a clip seems to be a. All right, Lorenzo. Yeah, dude, I didn't get to see it. Let's see this
Okay, so I have
traditionally
two
done.
here. One's on flip a clip and one's on one I did on. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me just open this.
So tell you what, when you do it, hold on one sec, buddy. When you do it, try to go from an angle. There you go. Yeah, where you're where you're going from an angle like this, and so you're kind of bending it back a little bit.
Wait. Not sure.
There you go. Yeah. So you want to stand that way, and then you're gonna angle the sheets a little bit more. There you go. Angle it just a little bit there, right there. Try that. All right, I can see it a little bit.
Okay.
That looked good. There you go. That
Hey,
time
I'll
I
show
saw
my
it.
one on flip a clip. I did it a little while ago, but let me just get to there. I just need to load it on.
Sure thing, man.
So let me just start it over.
At least you should be able to find it on the Apple Store, because I see a lot of people with some. What? Dude. I love it. You even got a background in there.
And
Lorenzo.
I did another one, but it's not a ball one. It's just a random one.
That's cool. That's cool. I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, dudes. Going to Laura.
So I did it on flip a clip. I'm going to share my screen because it's on this device. So
Okay.
okay.
Look at that. You even got it grounded in a background. Well done. I dig that, man. You know what'd be cool?
Yeah.
Can you add color to that in Flip a Clip? Well, yeah, you did, because Lorenzo did. He got red in there. Yeah, I wonder if once you get your final, like, you do your final on the animation, maybe you put a little bit of soft color like in that background has, and then add a little color to it. See what happens. Well done. Good job, Lauren.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Okay, so to recap for today, 12 basic principles. I'm going to put them in. I'm going to add it to my Thursday class on what those are, and then kind of a link to where you guys can see that. But I'm going to say this one more time. If you guys love to animate and it's something that's kind of exciting and you want to learn more about it and do some stuff with it, Richard Williams is the man, right? And it's the Animator Survival Kit. This is like stuff they teach in college off his book. This is a fascinating book. Everybody will get something out of this. So I recommend this one. Maybe you've got a birthday coming up or something. And then this bad boy here also, and these are all on my Amazon list that I have on my teacher's recommendations. The Illusion of Life is a wonderful, wonderful book on animating and all the principles. And Frank and Ollie go into a whole lot of detail on this. It's a fantastic book. So these are great physical resources for you guys to do. And then really the last thing is just keep doing it, right? The more you practice, the better you get. Just keep doing it. Like, look at what Lorenzo did off the thing of like, I was just waiting around. I got a little fuzzy do the 8. Look at what Max did in pulling off the guy as he was waiting with adding the smiley face and bouncing off. That's awesome, man. So I can't tell you guys enough. Just keep drawing, keep doing this and creating, because it only gets better. Yes, Samantha.
I just wanted to show you something that I did a while ago. It's Looney Tunes.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at you. Going for the gold too, man. Daffy Duck's not easy to animate, like when you think about it. That's awesome. Well done. I dig it, man. Color and everything. So I think that's fantastic. Keep going on all those things. Keep creating. The whole point is just keep creating. Chuck was big on just keep creating. So did I miss anybody? Simeon, did you want to show or no? No? All right. Simeon's like, no way, dude.
Actually, there are a few hands up. Can we go through them?
Yes, please.
Here's Lizzie.
Okay, so I didn't do my bouncing ball thing yet, but I started on a storyboard, part of my storyboard. So
I love that. Dude, look at that. That's awesome.
And then I have to finish it still.
That's totally cool. Well done, man.
Here's Amelia.
Okay, Amelia.
Can I show the face?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Nice job. Love the expression, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Way to go.
Here's Amin.
Okay, I made a new one. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Let me just get the 3.
Oh, wait, no. What are you doing? No, I didn't get the whole thing.
No, I'm finished. I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, I just watching it bounce around, but you dropped it right as like an explosion or something happened.
Yeah, I still have to draw the explosion.
Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. So, well done, guys. Do we have anybody else?
Here's Kat.
Kat.
So I finished making a line. Also, I figured out with the circle. So in the ruler tool, there's a circle and a square also. And the circle you can actually squish and distort it.
Sweet.
Hold on, I'm sharing my screen, and it just like it blew my mind, and it really made me really happy. So here's the ball. I only did like 2 frames. Oh, I did 1. You know what? I think I did 1 frame, and then I forgot to go to the next frame. But
that's
here's
okay.
The, ball bouncing.
All right. Yeah, keep going with it, dude. Like, you can morph that into whatever you want it to do. That's the beauty of animation, right? It can become anything you want it to. Good job, Kat. All right, I think we have Des.
Kat's still sharing her screen. There we go.
Okay.
I'm almost done. I'm not done all the way yet, though, so you can do someone else before me.
Okay.
Oh, I see Nissy's hand up.
Nissy.
I think her video froze. No, there she is.
The classic eye roll. Love it, dude. Nice job. You know what I love about this? Look at what you guys are able to create using whatever you have at hand, whether it's paper and pencil or it's the app, and you're able to produce some really awesome stuff. So keep doing that. And I put, I think we talked about some of the resources before. I'll add some of these digital resources to the teacher's recommendations. So if you have a device, like Apple or Samsung, they should do for both. On Thursday, we are going to animate, like we're going to just do 1 scene and figure it's going to be fairly quick, right? So it's going to be like a 2 to 1.5 seconds of animation, unless maybe you're using flip a clip and you can do a little bit longer of a stretch of your of a scene of the cartoon that you're developing. We're going to show that as well. So if you've got time to add color, great. If not, just draw it out. When you go on to Thursday's class, you're going to see a little video, And it's from a class that I did of guys who just all did it traditionally, and we made our own flip books. So yeah, Evie, it's going to be a scene from your story. So your cartoon, I want to see something come to life from what you've been developing over the last 7 or 8 classes we've been doing. Good, sweet mercy. Look at you, Samantha. That's awesome. All right, so we're all good. If you guys have other questions, Des, if you want to finish and then show us when we roll the next time, that is fine. I can start off with you.
Actually, I just finished. If I could just share really quick.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, give me a second. There. All right, wait. Let's see. Can you see that all right?
The light in back of you kind of washes out a little bit, but let's.
Yeah, wait. I pointed to the roof.
There you go. There you go. Yep, I can see that.
Okay, wait.
One more time. Nice.
It's
For the
working.
win. Way to go, Des.
It's a little weird because I had to get scissors and like shave this down because I used normal copy paper.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey,
And-
whatever works.
Yeah, that took a while.
That's okay. You did great, man. Way to do something and use what you have around for resources too. All right, guys, we'll see you on Thursday as we animate. Remember, we have a cartooning class or a cartooning camp if you're interested. So you can check out the chuckjonescenter.org site for that. And then we have Mike and Lee and Rhiannon for a few more days, and then I'll be back on Thursday. Have a great afternoon, all. Good job animating. Way to make stuff come to life. That was awesome. Later, dudes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.